One.
Hello, everyone. We are here, freshly preened and ready to rock with another episode of The Winner Is You podcast. This is it, folks. The big one. It's the equivalent of the Winner Is You Christmas holidays. After our big launch last week, congrats, Kelsey. We are here to bring you the first of 3 Resident Evil games that we will constitute as our Summer of Resi campaign. My name is David, his name is Alex, and if you didn't read the title of this episode, we are here to talk all things Resident Evil HD Remake. That's the right name, I got that right, didn't I, Alex?
No.
Oh, fuck.
I think it's the Resident Evil HD remaster.
Oh,
well, we're actually
so
played the remake.
The remake. So the remake's the GameCube one, and we're playing the remaster of the remake.
This is the remake, and then we played the remaster of that.
So it's Resident Evil remake
remaster. HD remaster. Yeah.
So it's re HD.
Yeah, we're effectively talking about the original game, but we just played it on PC using the upscale project.
Hell yeah, we did.
4K 60 FPS with upscaled textures.
Which I started with not having that on. Then I put it on and realized that I had spent at least an hour playing the game, walking past things because I just couldn't see ammo on the ground. So yes, if you're going to play this game, play it on PC. That seems to be the only one. I was watching that Resident Evil Games Done Quick video you sent me this afternoon, and that guy also who was speedrunning it says basically it's the only way to play it these days is on PC. So do that, folks, if you haven't already played it in preparation for this podcast.
Speaking of this version, I was just having a quick flick through this before we connected on Discord, and I opened the box and hello sailor, what's this? There's a bit of paper in here. So this is for the YouTubers out there. I opened up this piece of paper, and it's collaborative. Not all the writing is mine. Some of it is my friend Chris's, but it is. It is the V-Jolt formula, all written down in note form. When I did that, I don't know. But that was before. It was clearly before smartphones. Anyway,
interestingly, and maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm fairly sure this is right because maybe it's just called Jolt. But I've been playing over the last day. I've been playing Fights in Tight Spaces that I was talking to you about, and there is a card that you can play in that game called Jolt or V-Jolt, and it basically ups your stamina, basically. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. The last 2 games I played, it randomly appeared out of nowhere. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Fights in Tight Spaces. We're here to talk about Resident Evil. Well, we both went for a swig at the same time.
Collective swig, yeah. We're about to wet the whistle, then talk about Resident Evil.
Whistle's wet.
Mm-hmm.
What a game, Alex! What a game.
Indeed. I've loaded up our old Resident Evil ranking from when we last did this, so it'd be interesting to see where this one slots in later on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to because I want to keep track of that. I'm interested to have a sort of definitive Resi rank.
I would like to. Well, I'm very happy that this is going to be our 11th game covered in Summer of Resi, which means that Resident Evil 6 gets knocked out of the top 10 forever.
Good.
Never to return. That game was only in there to make it up to an even 10 because we never actually played more than about 2 hours with it.
Yeah, I wondered how far we got through. I think 2 hours.
I don't think we even got halfway through Leon's campaign, to be honest.
See, if that game wasn't so long, there is a bit of me that just wants to get through it.
I feel like I need to tick it off. Yeah,
it's like
I agree
20 hours, and do I have 20 hours of just hating myself? I don't know. If it was like 7 or 8, I think I could probably do it. 20. Don't know. Don't think I can do that. But I do. I do. Because I just like the idea of if we keep doing this podcast, eventually we'll get to the point where we've at least touched it. Well, regardless of whether we complete it or not, I guess I just want to get to the point where at least I can say I've encountered every Resident Evil game on offer.
Well, I haven't even done that, so I think some of the ones from the draft can be left well alone.
It seems like it, based on
we don't need to touch. Yeah, some of those do not need to be touched, especially for the money it would cost to touch them. Look, Resident Evil Biden, I'm looking at you.
What's that one again? Which one's that one?
Expensive. That's the Game Boy Color one that you picked. Which weirdly was nowhere near the bottom of the list once we started looking at things like Umbrella Corps with its 34 or whatever it was.
I
that it
would
had.
actually like to see a proper finished list of that with all the Metacritics filled in.
Oh, what, like a full on? Yeah, like rank them by it.
Yeah, have a list of all the Resident Evil games with their Metacritic beside. And maybe even I might even black them out, and as I play them, I'll give them a score, and then I'll unblack the Metacritic to see.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting show. I mean, we weren't far away. We only probably missed off like 10, if
Yeah.
that. So doable.
Yeah, I may go and work on that.
Kelsey, as we'd said, should have won that draft, and he did. So he's not, I assume, kicked off that podcast.
Yeah, he's
yet.
allowed to return, so he's he's saved himself.
What a lucky lad!
Although, did you get a throat punch from your friend Chris? Because he'll be like his what's it? Who's is a sensei? That are you his? Well, let's go with something I feel harder.
I'm his Padawan.
You're his Padawan, yeah. So
Yeah.
I feel more confident with that.
I guess I was initially, yes. He was the man who introduced me to Resident Evil because he had a PlayStation and I had an N64. He at a gathering over this last weekend, in which he was involved, we loaded up the Resident Evil 2, which will be next podcast, and gave him the pad, and his movement without getting touched by any zombies and his memory of the quotes of the dialogue and like where everything was absolutely stellar. Because I can guarantee you, I think I've played that game outside of when it was released, like within, when we were teenagers. I've played that game more than he has. Guarantee it.
What do you think?
But he just spammed it so many times. He played the demo disc of it before it actually came out. Like, I think he played that so much as a teenager, he just cannot remove it from his brain. No matter what else he tries to learn in his life, it will still always be there.
So do you reckon he's like the Emperor Palpatine and you're Darth Vader? At some point, you're going to pick him up and throw him off a bridge.
Well, I think that kind of has already happened because I don't even think he's played the remake of 2 because I think he's just a big wet fart now and he won't play anything scary. No, he hasn't played any Resi games for ages. He just likes the originals because I think they don't scare him anymore.
They're comfortable. I'm not going to say comfy game because I hate that expression.
Oh, cozy games can fuck right off. I would have said that last episode on the Crow Country episode, but I really liked the game, so I didn't want to be horrible about it, trying to aim for the cozy market. And it's a good job because Adam Vian listened to the podcast and really liked it, so that was fucking awesome.
We better watch what we're saying now. If we've made it.
Yeah, I forgot. I was looking randomly back through pictures of something, and I saw that I'd screenshotted a tweet that when I got my BioShock tattoo, I tweeted it, and the fucking BioShock account retweeted it. I forgot they did that. I mean, that's not like Ken Levine or anything, so it's not quite the same, but I forgot that happened.
Some community manager.
Some intern who went, oh, yeah, there we go, content for the day. I'm going on my lunch break, Carlin.
Yeah, almost certainly with a flat fringe and round glasses. That's how I imagine every social media manager.
Yeah, definitely. God, imagine having that as your job.
Oh, I'm going to pull on my waders and wade into the social media shithole again this morning.
Oh, every morning, yeah. And you have to be part of it as well.
Oh, especially because you'll be on a big account as well, so you'll just get the absolute dregs of society every day.
Oh yeah, the Tottenham admin just gets absolutely rinsed every fucking day. Every day of his life, he puts all this content together, and then he just gets somebody come on and just go like, "Shit club banter." What trophy is this, or some wank? It's just like every day. It's like, what is the point? Why it's not engagement? It's not engagement at all.
It's not. I don't know.
That's just. I nearly laughed at something then. Right, I just saw an email come through. Oh, that's not funny. This is getting cut from the podcast, right? But I need some physio on my neck. I keep getting these. I can't remember what they're called now. It's funny because I was at work and I was Googling the type of headaches that my neck and shoulder pain gives me. And my colleague Kieran looked at me and he was like, "What the fuck? What rabbit hole are you going down, mate? What are you doing?" I was like, "It's fine. I don't need an intervention. I'm just trying to tell this woman what headaches I get because it's like it gets like around the side, just above my ears, because it all comes from like my traps. Because I sleep I sleep so bad. My posture's so shit. I give myself like head pain from how bad my neck is. Anyway, I emailed the physio, the one in Walden, who she's one of the only ones around here who's actually a proper physio, not a sports therapist, so I can claim it back on Simply Health through my work. Emailed her. Well, she emailed me like a few months ago, and like the times that
Hey,
she
Alex, I've
gave,
not seen you in a while. How's it going?
yeah,
Are you
the
dead?
times that she well, yeah, the times that she gave me were nonsense. Like they were terrible. They were like 7 a.m. Or something, and I like 5 p.m. So well, I can't get home in time, so I kind of just forgot to reply. So then I emailed her back like 2 months later, last week, being like, "Oh yeah, sorry I didn't reply. I do really need some physio though, so can we try this again?" And she hasn't responded for ages. And I said to Rach, like, "Oh, she must be pissed off at me." And Rach was like, "No one runs a business like that. She's not ignoring you. She will come back to you because she wants your money."
Yeah.
And I've just got an email through from her now saying something about, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I've been dealing with my mother's last days of her terminal illness."
Jesus.
Oh, fucking hell.
That's an
horrible.
overshare.
I know. Well, yeah, I didn't need to know that. I'm really sorry to hear that, though. I'm not going to tell her that. I will tell her that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was there's me like, oh, she's fucking loser. She's ignoring me. Doesn't even want my fucking mum's died. Anyway, sorry. Where were we? Do you want to know something that's ridiculous? Right? Is Cassie, my daughter, for new listeners, she is weirdly responsive to the notion of a timer being set to count down her fun before serious things need to happen. So no matter what you tell her to do, if you give her a time frame and you say like, right, we're going to get out of the bath now in 1 minute. You got 1 minute to keep pouring stuff on Peppa Pig's head, pretending you're making her feel better. And then we're getting out. She'll always go, put a timer on. Okay. Put a timer on. When the timer goes off, she will obey the command.
That is fantastic.
It's really weird.
Most of them just start screaming regardless.
Yeah.
From my understanding.
So she would do if the timer wasn't there. But because of that though, my timer on my phone is the fanfare from Final Fantasy VII. Do you know the one?
No.
I felt like this song is like a really good one to have when you've like accomplished something or something's ready. It's this one.
Your noise gate is just getting that to fuck.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, okay, hold on. Let me send it to you. While I send it to you, the reason I'm telling you that is that that has become her favorite song in the world. So now she just, instead of her actually following the command, she will get out of the bath because the Final Fantasy fanfare has gone off. But then she just dances in the mirror to it for ages, like
she's beating that's excellent. She's beating the game because I feel like like if you set an alarm for something, eventually that just becomes it could be your favorite song in the world, and you eventually just hate it.
Oh yeah, I do hate it now because of that. But I just thought that was funny because it had to. Honestly, I must have listened to it with her tonight at least like 30 times in a row, and she was just standing in front of the mirror, no clothes on, just doing a little dance.
That's amazing because I've
just sent it to you in Discord.
Slight tangent. I used to. No, what am I talking about? I wake up every morning to Slipknot Psychosocial, and I used to like that song, and now I used to be entertained by it, and now I just can't. Every time it goes off, I'm like diving in bed.
You should wake up to People Equal Shit, and at least you've got your set in the right mindset for the day.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard that the start sounds like it. That start bit, if you told me that was from a Zelda game, I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah,
but then it switches up.
Yeah, that's the bit she likes to dance to. But yeah, I just felt like that sound is quite good for like, oh, my dinner's ready.
Yeah, that would be good. If you could set your oven to that would be fantastic.
These days, I think you probably could.
I bet you must be able to get a smart oven.
Oh, my mother-in-law's got one, yeah.
Does that mean you can just get an app and you can turn it on and off with your phone? So
I bet she could, and I bet she doesn't.
You could, because if you go out and you're like, oh shit, I've left the cooker on, you could just go. Problems.
Yeah, this new air conditioner I'm going to buy has an app apparently, and you can like set it before you get home, so you can like pre-cool your room. Oh, mate,
that's going
to be
dream.
good.
You're going to be living the dream.
annoyingly though, when I saw that it said that I could do that, I was like, "Oh, that's so rad!" But then that also makes me think of the fact that like one of the guys I work with, who's like 26, got a Tesla recently,
Oh,
and fuck Elon Musk with a rusty pole right in his fucking dick slit. But
is it a nice? I've never. I don't know
it's
anyone
fucking
that. I
awesome.
don't know
It's
anyone that owns a
really good.
Tesla. But it
Oh,
seems like an
they've got
about.
loads of them around here. Yeah. Oh, Walden's absolutely full of them. But yeah, it does some pretty cool shit. Like it does this weird like 3D mapping. It's got like a screen where it basically shows you as you're driving along. Like it like dynamically 3D maps the surroundings.
Oh, amazing.
And it's also got a thing like on your phone where if it's like in a tight parking spot, you can make your car drive towards you so you can get in it better just with your phone.
Well,
It's fucking mental.
that is brilliant. Yeah. Maybe I need to look at one of the. No, I don't want to afford one of those.
He's got it on finance, so he's paying like 360 quid a month for a Tesla. Doesn't actually sound mental. I almost convinced my dad to get one.
Yeah, it's not mental, but when I think of other things I could spend £360 a month on, I'm just like, because I was
Well,
looking
yeah,
at the
I
app.
can't. 'Cause I've got a kid to spend that on, but
Yeah,
he doesn't.
my girlfriend's just recently got a new car, and I was looking at it thinking, should I get myself a new car? I never really had a nice car before, and then I was
Me
thinking
neither,
about
really.
it, and then I was like thinking about how much it costs, and I was like, nah, I'm quite happy driving around a pile of shit, to be honest.
Yeah, as long as it runs
As long as
and it plays the music good, and it's got aircon and cruise
exactly.
control,
I
I'm
work
kind
from
of cool
home
with that.
most of
And
the
that.
time. So like I drive to the gym and I drive to Edinburgh 10 times a year to go and see rugby. I don't need a nice car.
No, I do want an electric car, just because the world needs it.
Mm.
Um, I don't want to buy Elon Musk's electric car because he's a twat. But the good thing is at the college where I work, you pay like £15 a month and you can use the chargers
Oh,
there.
that's
So
good. Yeah,
my colleague just does that. He's never paid for one charge of his car. Just
that's awesome.
does it at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Resident Evil's good, isn't it?
No electric cars from Resident Evil that I can think of. Is there? Well, certainly not
Maybe they
in
use them in the lab. Who knows?
yeah.
Down
6
there.
seems like it would be something they might get involved in.
Yeah. Yeah. There's I'm gonna go into it later on, but the story of the guy who designed the mansion for Spencer, old George Trevor. It basically hit.
Oh, shit
Apparently, he
name, by
had.
the way. Shit name. Kept
Yeah,
throwing me two first names out for. I think I was like, is this two people? No, no, no. It's just one.
I found there's like a load of backstory to him, which I will go into later on because it wasn't in the original game. I think some of it is from there was a book called Biohazard: The True Story Behind Biohazard, which was
Okay.
given away for pre-ordering the Sega Saturn version of the original game. And of course, I need this in my life.
Yeah, of course.
But one of the things it says on the Resident Evil wiki that's transcribed it says George Trevor had his work base in New York and was well known for his constructions, often filled with trap puzzles, and secret passages. What? Why? What? Why were you designing stuff like that? And obviously, therefore, Spencer was like, "But fucking bang on, get him in." That's exactly what I needed, is a mansion full of traps and puzzles.
Absolutely.
But why? Why was he doing that? What was he doing? Like, we need you to build a school. Oh, I know what you want.
He just never
Trap
grew
door,
up.
right?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I just like if I was a kid and you were like, oh, design a house, I'd been giving me like secret doors and like little crawl spaces and stuff. Like I'd basically designed a safe mansion. I
Ah,
think.
well, you know what? Actually, maybe I would want someone to do that. Maybe if I was a millionaire, I would want someone to design me a mansion with loads of secret passages and puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been too harsh on the guy. Maybe he was a pioneer.
There was
It didn't end well for him. Somebody else was harsher to him. But
yeah. Yeah. Maybe we should. Because I always thought like there was because I used to have I thought I saw this video on YouTube and it was like if I live in this house and for some mad reason I end up having children, I'm going to do this. There was like this cupboard door that was it was just like a crawl space. It's like a small box and then you open it and it's like this really deep cupboard that you could like put like stuff you don't use every day, like Christmas trees and stuff, and it was really big. And then I saw like a guy on YouTube that had this similar crawl space, and he had like obviously like he had a daughter, and he had like just sort of covered it, obviously because you don't want kids going in there, covered it up with a
Yeah.
chest of drawers, and then she was out one day, and he had opened it up, and he had made it into this like secret cave, and then like pushed the thing back, closed, like made a fake door and stuff like that because he was must have been a joiner, and then put like the chest of drawers back in front, and then just like accidentally let his daughter discover it at some point. And I was like, that
Oh,
is
that's
cool
quite
as fuck.
sweet.
I'd have loved that if I was a kid. Just found this
Yeah.
amazing
I've seen
little
people do stuff like that for their dogs and shit. Like you go all the way,
yeah
they do these like videos that like goes through like some sort of tunnel thing, and then it goes to this like dog
yeah.
soundscape, like synesthesia place or whatever. Yeah, that would be pretty
Problem
awesome.
with my
I think I've
dogs,
totally turned around on that idea now. I think
yeah,
he's
he's a
a
legend.
genius.
He's just like an evil genius.
I suppose. Well, yeah. I wonder if George Trevor ever had any evil intentions for his trap puzzles and secret
Or he
passage
was just
instructions.
just a frustrated escape room man before escape rooms were a thing.
Well, yeah. He built the ultimate escape room and ultimately did not escape from it, which is kind of karma, I
It was
suppose.
his own escape room though, and like, is that the bit with the graveyard, the gravestone in front of it? Because
This has his name written on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because that's really funny that like, because I read that, if I'm remembering this correctly, I read that note and he's like, oh, they're not going to save me, I'm going to die in here. And then you read that note and he talks about his gravestone and you're like, oh, it's a cruel joke. And then you instantly just leave. Like you just like interact with the gravestone.
Because you've opened it though, yeah.
And then
You opened it from the outside, but yes, you're right. You did just walk away, yeah.
It wasn't that hard, George.
Apparently, he was he was drugged and like malnourished and dehydrated and exhausted, so he just couldn't remember the solutions to any of his puzzles.
Also, well, listen, because this will go out of my head.
Tell you what would have helped him: the fucking
it would
the
have
notes in his game box. Idiot.
I need to say this as well because it'll go out of my head otherwise. There's another note in that game that you're reading, and it's like something's happened in the lab. We got told to put on hazmat suits, and he's like, "Oh, I started feeling really unwell and itchy and stuff. I went to the doctors and they put a bandage on me and told me I didn't need to wear the hazmat suit anymore." If you were the person that, and he seemed fine with that, he's oh, okay, but everyone else is still wearing the hazmat suit. Is that not a big sign that you are fucked? Because they're just, oh yeah, don't worry about it. Like if I was them, I would have been like, keep it on, you'll get better, fine. Just to keep him calm, if nothing else, and then you can lock him in his room while he's sleeping. But like, just saying, oh, you don't need to wear it anymore, and he's just like, oh yeah, okay, like that should have been a giveaway.
Oh, what a relief!
Oh, what?
I was so sick of wearing that. I'm so. I mean,
you guys,
guys, we can take them off. No, just you, mate. Okay. Well, sucks to be you then. Taking it off like hazmat losers, hazmat wankers. Oh mate!
So did George Trevor make the shotgun room? This crushes.
He did. That room actually was also one of the causes of his undoing, because I think he lost his lighter in there, and we went and had a little moan to Spencer, being like, "Mate, I left my lighter in the shotgun room, right? And it's not there anymore. So I think I've had enough and I'm going to leave." And Spencer was like, "Yeah, all right, pal." Next day, boom, drugged, chucked in a cell. Fuck you.
Boom. So do you have some lore written in your notes then? Because when you go in the shotgun room, there's the fireplace. And when you go up to the fireplace, or it's like a chest of drawers, I can't remember, but at the opposite end of the room from the shotgun enemy, there's a bit. And when you walk up to it, it says, something's been burned here. There's lots of burned paper. And then the game never returns to that I could see at any point.
Ooh.
Do you know if that's where the lighter was? Do you know what was being burned?
Good spot. No, I don't. I think it was probably
the solution to this puzzle that you got stuck in.
Well, either it was that, or it was any record of Spencer asking for this to be done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Effectively, Spencer's. Yeah. Do you want me to? You know what? Let's just skip to it, right? So the Trevors were supposedly meant to be in the original Resident Evil game. They were cut out or rejected for time constraints or something. but they wanted to bring them back. Mikami wanted them brought back to be included as a boss, or at least one of them to be included as a boss in the remake. So I'll tell you the story, George. So we've already gone about the fact that he
Which
made
what
houses
boss
with.
is he?
Oh no, it's Lisa, his daughter. That's
His
the boss.
daughter is Lisa, right? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we've already gone through over the fact that he was, building houses with secret passages in it, and Spencer contracted him to build this mansion in Arkley County, in the Arkley Mountains within Raccoon Forest. So he gave him this prospect of like unlimited funding, so he could like do whatever he wanted, like free reign, full imagination, go fucking mental. I think we can all agree that that's exactly what he did. Put a magnum in a gravestone, so
Yeah, he went full wild.
he did. So when he was finished building the mansion, he was invited to stay there with his family, but apparently he had some more work to do. I don't know what that work was, whether it was to do with the mansion or not. I don't think it was, but he basically sent his wife and daughter to stay there on like a Friday, I think, while he was finishing up. Then 3 days later, he gets to the mansion, and Spencer says that. Now I can't figure out from the wiki whose it was because I haven't read the source material, but it said on the wiki, it said Lord Spencer. He was told by Lord Spencer that his family had left earlier to see his Aunt Emma, who was ill. I don't know if that's Spencer's Aunt Emma. I assume it was George's Aunt Emma who was ill. George apparently doesn't care enough about that to go with them, so he just accepted
Emma
it.
Trevor.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she may have remarried and got a different.
She may have, yeah. To I don't know, Nigel.
Yeah, Emma Malcolm.
Yeah.
But what had actually happened, of course, is that they had not gone to see Aunt Emma. They had been immediately detained by Spencer's security guards, chucked in an underground cavern, and injected with a load of horse shit. The Type A and Type B strains of the progenitor virus. So when George gets there, without him knowing, of course, his wife Jessica had a poor reaction to her virus, was deemed as a failed experiment, and they just executed her.
Whereas what Lisa's was a great reaction.
It was better. Yeah, she reacted better to it and developed this degree of superhuman strength.
Fucking does.
But not to the extent of if it was like a progenitor strain that was properly engineered, which is what Wesker puts in himself later on.
Right.
On the Resident Evil wiki, the first line in Lisa Trevor's entry says that Lisa Trevor was an American superhuman, which is brilliant. It sounds so grandiose, but realistically, it's just a shit time.
It's more super mutant.
Exactly. So George then at the weekend is getting a tour of the mansion, and apparently Spencer at that point talks to him about this intention to build this pharmaceutical corporation, and tells him that he's going to use the house as this private hotel for his employees, which George is really confused about because he thought he was just building like a getaway house for Spencer, like a lovely little holiday home. So he starts to understand that shit's not on the up and up.
The ultimate escape room.
Yeah, I thought we were just having a laugh, but okay, scientist hotel.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. I kept remembering when I was playing this. It's like, oh, so Spencer's obviously been to that Eastern European town in Resident Evil 7 and like spoken to the old lady witch and stuff like that. So is he in theory met like Lady Dimitrescu?
Oh yeah, yeah. There is. It did say. I actually omitted this from when I was taking notes from the wiki, but yeah, it does say that he had like holiday homes in like Italy and Spain and stuff. So it was kind of modeled around European architecture. But maybe it was was it Romania?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think.
Well remembered. I forgot about that.
It's a Romanian name anyway, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you're right. Nicely done. I forgot about that. So yeah, Lisa's mental state is just going to shit. Obviously she's been drugged with this stuff, and also her mum's just been murdered. So they got this like employee to impersonate her mum to keep Lisa satisfied, but it didn't succeed.
Right. No.
So Lisa went into a violent outburst and believed that the woman had stolen her mum's face, so she tried to cut it off and give it back to her mum.
Jesus.
Because you can see she's got like a mask made of skin, hasn't she? Like a skin face mask over her
wearing her mum's face.
She's wearing somebody's face that she thought had stolen it from her.
Oh, right, okay. And I assume they're going like fucking Scarecrow from Batman, just like making her hallucinate. the face.
Yes. Yeah.
Right,
So they
okay.
tried to like be like, here's your mum, Lisa. She's back from the shops. And then she just cuts her face off because that's not her mum and she knows it. And she knows enough
I
to know
want
it's
to
not
see her
anyway.
now that because she runs off with her mum's skull at some point, trying to like put the face
Mate.
back on the skull.
Yeah, mate, wait till you hear what happens after that. Fucking Jesus. Right, anyway. So yeah, so then George is just having a wander about the mansion, having a just wondering
Writing
where
his
his supplies,
diaries.
wondering how his Aunt Emma's doing and why no one's come back or told him any of us, state at this point. Just, they really should call me and tell me about Aunt Emma. She's ill. Fucking rude.
We should keep diaries, maybe. Just like everybody in those days kept a diary, apparently.
Yeah. Even fucking people turning into zombies, they still had the capacity to write some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a bit itchy.
What a diary entry. Looking back at
Yeah.
that in your 80s. Oh, on the 4th of March, I was itchy.
And something was tasty. So yeah, apparently it said the most notable incident was he observed a deep hole behind the artificial waterfall, which were the foundations of the lab being built
Right.
there.
So he didn't have anything to do with the lab?
No.
Right, okay.
No. He apparently thought he was just building a nice fake waterfall for him, and then noticed that, hold on a minute, is there a laboratory behind that? So it says here, and this is verbatim: white-robed men smelling of disinfectant escorted Trevor away from the courtyard. They'd been following him around the mansion for some time. I'm assuming this is all again from his diary entry. So he's obviously said these guys smell of disinfectant.
Yeah. And there's just white men in robes following me around with clipboards.
Yeah, and they I guess they're putting disinfectant on to not smell of his daughter's flesh-faced mask. I don't know.
Cleaning up, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, as I said,
guess they must have to work in a sterile environment if you're fannying about with viruses.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. That would just be reckless otherwise, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just hanging about with a T virus. Well, yeah. Anyway, lunchtime. Yeah. This is the next bit I've got is he loses his lighter. He gets upset. He tells Spencer he wants to depart the following day. On the following day, he's in the painting room.
Was Spencer there at this point?
Oh yeah, he's there. They're both they're cutting about
just
together.
Like phoning him up.
No, they're in the painting. They're in the painting room.
Looking where his daughter was. Then it's just.
I'd have at least asked him why there's crows up on the rails while I'm looking at these paintings with him. So what What are they going to do? Okay, all right. No, it's all right, mate. They ain't going to touch you unless you get the puzzle wrong. You'll be fine. Otherwise, you built it. You fucking idiot. You know the crows are linked to the puzzle. They know if you've got it wrong. Sentient crows. So yeah, apparently at that point, also one of the white robed men was in there too. So it was George Trevor, Oswald Spencer, just a bloke in a white robe from before.
Disinfectant.
Yeah. So one of the men turns to him and says, right about now, your family is, and then bang, somebody twats him in the back of the head. And then they lock him up in a room. And he's in there for 3 days. And he realizes the truth that Spencer and him were the only ones aware of all the mansion secrets. And Spencer wants him dead because he's a liability now.
Okay.
So this is when because he was drugged, he's losing his memory. Can't remember the solutions to his puzzles. He can't remember where to put the fucking gold emblem. Can't remember how to play Moonlight Sonata. He's totally fucked all of it.
I like the idea of that, like with those crows. I like the idea of him having at home, just having like a big back garden with loads of cages in it, and this is like these are the puzzle crows. They know the answers to the puzzles.
Yeah.
This section here, I've got the inquisitive badger, and then he's got like the serious squirrels that'll get angry if you touch the wrong nut. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Just having crows that react to getting a puzzle painting wrong.
Yeah.
I suppose you could say.
It right.
I mean, they're on a. Why am I even giving this credence? Yeah. They're on a pole, aren't they? Like a hang, like a fucking curtain rail. Maybe it electrocutes them if you get it wrong. That's me giving it more credit than it gave me.
So, do the crows in the sort of hallway, do they ever do anything?
I haven't seen them do it. I think if you shot a gun, they would come at you.
Okay, didn't do that then.
Yeah, but otherwise they just kind of sit there.
And they've got the
I
empty
swear you go for that
birdcage
room
in
like
that room as
twice.
well, which makes
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they were all in there together. Then the zombie let them out. Then he fell over in the corner. He never gets up either, does he?
Don't think so.
Or does he?
No.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. He doesn't. He doesn't. He's doesn't go red face or whatever you call him. Crimson Skulls.
Crimson Head. Yeah.
That's it.
The Kingdom of the Crimson Skull. Yeah. So yeah, because he can't get any out. He can't remember the puzzles and he can't escape. He tries to go like into the secret network of underground tunnels that he built, but he can't get out. He's running from guards for several days, and so then he's forced to go into hiding in one of the unfinished passages. He can't remember the secrets, as I said, and he was tortured by the knowledge that he dragged his family into a nest of vipers. So then he jumps into a pit that led to a secret path, but it was blocked by a heavy tombstone and he couldn't move it, and he lights his last match and he sees his own name written there and realizes that he's never going to get out and he was always meant to die there. And he writes a note asking his wife and his daughter to forgive him. They really should not forgive him, and dies of thirst and starvation in that corridor. Now afterwards, over the next 28 years, of course, Lisa, she's still hanging about in the estate. She gets moved into the lab after they finish it. Her existence apparently completely kept secret. Barely any of the researchers know her name. Hardly anyone knows that she even exists. William Birkin then fucking rocks up in 1978, starts realizing that she's got all these regenerative abilities and stuff, and they needed some test subjects, so starts just like sticking a load of shit in her. The NE alpha type of parasite. Apparently that was one of them. It was engineered by Umbrella Europe to replace the brain functions in these BOWs to improve their performance. Has a low success rate, and during the implantation it fucks up, Lisa's immune system fucks it up and attacks it, destroys it, and she regains her consciousness because of that, to a certain degree of intelligence. Then over the next 7 years, she apparently became a real hindrance to all their research.
I wonder why.
Yeah, because now she's got her mind restored. She's kind of able to... Well, the wiki says she was once more able to use her enhanced strength in her obsessive need to collect faces. Making her a danger to all women, especially.
Oh my god.
Loads. Yeah, she's pissed off at stars as well. I don't know how she actually learns of stars or anything to do with them, but she has that room that you get to see, don't you, which she's got like loads of stuff she's sort of collected, like dolls and shit down there, isn't she?
Yeah, so you do.
But apparently she killed like 3 researchers in 95, so they fucking fed up of her. So she gets given to the Umbrella Security Service to execute her, and they think they're being clever because they know she's got regenerative abilities, so they leave her for like 3 days before declaring that she's dead, and then take her body away for disposal. Obviously, that doesn't happen because she just regenerates anyway. And then just escapes and just goes and lives in the mountain as a mountain woman, surviving on her own means, and then returns to the Arkley lab following the T-virus outbreak. And that's when she obviously ends up in the little cabin that we find her in out in the east.
Yes.
We obviously discover all the tunnels as we're playing the game that she has when she was first infected. There's a trapdoor in the shed that she can use to get to them. And then we obviously have that boss fight with her as well, where she jumps into a chasm after you reveal her mum's corpse to her. Just picks up the skull and has a little jump. That's not the end, because in the Umbrella Chronicles for the Wii, it's revealed that she actually just didn't die from that. She makes her way out of the chasm just as the facility's self-destruct system's been activated, finds Wesker, recognizes him as one of her torturers, is super pissed off about that, understandably.
Yeah.
He's, at this point, as we know, got superhuman abilities because he's just stabbed himself with the T-virus right when we were telling him that you killed those people with your own hands, you son of a bitch.
So does he stab? I'm now blanking on that. Does he stab?
You sorry. You have only played Jill. He does it in the Chris's one, I think.
And he
He
does
gives
that. What does
himself
he
a
do
shot at
after the final boss has smacked him up?
that.
There's a really funny line that I wish I could remember when I was playing that. And it's just before. It's like what's it called? What's the final boss called? Because I'm going to butcher this.
Tyrant.
When the tyrant comes out and he's like, check
That
this.
might be the super tyrant, but yeah.
Yeah, he comes out and then the tyrant like kind of walks up to Wesker and then he says a word that is really funny and then the thing just smacks him in the face.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the word is though. It's just so unexpected. It's like miscalculation or something like that. I can't remember.
Oh
Really odd.
As far as I can tell, I didn't see him get hurt by the tyrant in the Jill's game.
Did you not?
No, because in Jill's game, doesn't Barry shoot him? And then he releases the tyrant after, like when he's been shot. And then after you've done the tyrant fight, Wesker's gone. But in Chris's game, he does get attacked by the tyrant because he shoots Rebecca. So Rebecca comes in, Wesker shoots her. That's when Chris says that line that I just said a minute ago.
I remember now. So Barry,
and the tyrant kills Wesker in that one.
Barry walks away, and he's like, "Oh, shame about his family" or something like that. And then he comes back and he shoots. Does he shoot Wesker?
Yeah, I thought he shot Wesker, and then Wesker's like, "Well, fuck you." Then I'm releasing him, but then it just attacks you.
Yeah, then the tyrant.
But in Chris's one, he were like, "Does it attack him then?"
In my game, the tyrant walked up to him, stood beside him, looking at like Jill and Barry, and he's like, "Haha!" And then the tyrant just fucking clocks him one. And then he's like dead.
Oh.
Well, he seems to be dead. He's obviously not because that man doesn't.
Maybe okay. I think he attacks him worse in Chris's one.
Okay.
So if you're saying the tyrant, like after Wesker's been shot, the tyrant then like batters him across the room.
Yeah.
In Chris's one, he proper stabs him through the chest.
Oh yeah, he doesn't do that. He just basically like backhands him into the computer.
Okay, yeah. So in Chris's game, he properly impales him and chucks him on the floor, and then Chris says, "What a pathetic way to die!" If you go look at his corpse. But in Jill's game, Wesker's just gone. So that's obviously the canon, because in the original PlayStation game, Wesker gets done by the tyrant in both versions, and he's dead in both versions of the game. And then he didn't come back until Code Veronica. So I think they tried to retcon the ending of that for Jill's playthrough here to sort of be like, he didn't die. That's how he's still in all the games.
Yeah. I wonder how do you think they'll eventually retcon him back to life after the end of Resi 5 when he gets bazookaed into into a volcano or whatever it happens?
I think we all hope that, right? It'd be fun to see him again.
How does he survive?
I
hope he's bionic. I hope he's got like metal legs. That would be good. Like Terminator eye.
Like Krang from the Turtles. It's just Wesker's brain in a fucking suit of armor.
Yeah, that would be good.
But yeah, he basically beats the shit out of Lisa. No, he doesn't actually. Lisa Trevor has a fight with him in the mansion, but she gets pinned down by a falling chandelier, and then he just escapes, and she gets blown up when the mansion self-destructs. So that's in the Wii light gun shooter. You actually get to see Lisa Trevor come back and have a fight with Wesker. I believe. I haven't played it, but that's where it's from.
If
but
we're
that's
prepping with Wii-age for next year, then maybe that's something we can look into.
Yeah, I need to play that game properly and the other one. That's dark as fuck, like horrific.
Yeah.
All that shit.
Yeah.
Like trapping a man in his own creation after you've fucking murdered his wife and tortured his daughter for 28 years. Absolutely heinous. Mikami knows that, and apparently he doesn't. You know, the boss fight, I don't know if you can actually kill her with guns and shit, but he doesn't want you to even shoot her. He said like he said in that Itchy Tasty book that he hoped that he hoped that everyone who read the notes for Lisa Trevor felt really sorry for her and pushed the things off the platform so that she can find her mum. And he doesn't want you to kill her. He doesn't want you to shoot her. He wants you to feel sorry.
Yeah, I think the only time I actually shot her was when I first encountered her. She got a shotgun right to the face.
I fucked that up the first time. She killed me in there. I don't know what I actually tried to do. And then every other time, I just juked her. I felt like an absolute boss. Yeah,
it becomes clear that she's invincible. So, and like ammo is such a scarce resource. I'm not wasting it on her.
Oh, exactly. I really like the bit where you find her underground, and they purposely built this little room that's basically got like a whole
Yeah.
circle in it, so you can just go around the other way when she's coming out. I found that so fun to just try and run around her every time. But I remember thinking, like, dreading that bit when I went back to this the first time, probably on the Xbox version, having played the GameCube one. I remember thinking, like, oh, fucking hell, this one's got Lisa Trevor in it, hasn't it? It's that ball. Like, I don't want to go near that. Why would I want to go to the cabin? She's going to terrify me again.
Yeah.
And then in reality, she's just one swipe and you just run past and that's it.
Yeah,
For
it's pretty much she knocks you
10
out, you
hours.
wake up, and then she's there.
I'm not really sure why she doesn't
Keep
do stuff to
keep
you.
head smashing you. I don't know. Maybe she just likes to knock people out and.
Surprised they wake up with a face at least, especially Jill, because
Yeah,
as we already know, women's faces are fair game for her.
yeah. Apparently,
If you leave that face on your skull, she's having it. You should have
she will
called
be
it.
off. She will be off with it. Yeah.
But yeah, that was some of my stuff for later. So let's jump right back and let's have some thoughts. Now, I love this game. I think it's incredible. But I would admit at this point that some of its design decisions don't necessarily make for a very good, or at least a very welcoming gaming experience for newcomers at the very least. There's probably an element of me where I am probably too patient with old Resident Evil's inventory management backtracking bullshit. I find it almost a comfort food. I don't know why. I know I'm wasting my time. I know I'm making mistakes and getting it wrong and having to retrace my steps because I fucked it up again and again and again. And I know it's sometimes annoying, but I just let it go for some reason. But do you? Is that something you were able to let go, or do you think like you've played enough Resident Evil now from various eras where you think this is clearly a masterpiece, but in 2024, it's a bit too archaic and bullshit?
I actually came into this podcast thinking I don't know how this is going to be received, but I had a bit of an inexplicable sort of, especially in my like initial sort of 3-4 hours of this game, like up and down with it. Like started playing
Yeah.
it, super excited to play it, and then I kept for some reason. I don't think I was on Twitch at this point, but for some reason I just kept dying over and over again. Every time I'd encounter a zombie, it would eat me. Like, and I was like trying to figure out how I'm meant to use the knife, and I just couldn't figure it out. And like about 3 or 4 times, I lost like hours of progress probably, and it was just like this. I'm not getting on with this for some reason. Then I started streaming it, and then it just kind of clicked. And then when it clicked, I was like, oh no, this is what I was looking for from this game. And I don't know why. Like I found the on ramp to this one. Like I was like, there was a surprise on ramp because I played enough Resident Evil games at this point that I should be able to just sort of get into the groove with it and be fine. In terms of like the bullshit with it, I would say like 75% of it I've just come to be okay with. I mean, like, and I can't even decide in myself how I feel about the inventory management because there's a part of me that enjoys the inventory management, but there's another part of me that is just like can't. Some of it I just can't be. I find it frustrating, but I find it probably in an unexpected way. To be honest, I find it frustrating because the map is actually pretty good in this game. So you'd go
Yeah.
in, and I'd just like to make sure that I had changed the room green so that I knew that whatever that had to be in that room, I either had on my person in the box or I'd like collected and used. And there'd be rooms where I'd know there'd be like one green bit of health, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I've got to go and backtrack so that I can go and pick that up. But that's my problem really more than the game. Um, the bit I found frustrating was the one-way doors. I found quite annoying. I didn't understand.
That was new for this
I don't.
version. Yeah.
I couldn't quite figure out what that was bringing to the game because of the nature. Like, so say if you're going to sort of accept the inventory management stuff and the backtrack into different rooms to collect stuff that you had missed and go back and pick things up and move things around your inventory. I found at times that the doors just added extra like backtrackiness to an already backtrack heavy game.
Yeah.
And I find that probably the most frustrating. I think to sort of actually directly answer your question, because I know I've danced around it, like the inventory management and stuff, I think initially, again, probably initially, I was like, oh, I just don't have any room for stuff because it's like absolutely everything. It's like there was a key that I carried about that I ended up not needing because it was. I think the only place that I didn't use it was in the kitchen, which I think I only went through once.
And you went through it from the way that you go through it, like the
Yeah.
back doorway, ages and ages later. You didn't go down those initial stairs.
So I have like two keys on me, the lighter and the canteen, and that's like four of my six. Is it four of eight? Four of six? Four of eight.
She has 6, yeah.
She has
Sorry,
six,
she has 8.
eight. Four of
Chris has
eight. Like
6.
that's that filled before I've even got a gun. And then there's
You've got
also
to
like
carry a fucking
trying to
lighter
take
in your
health with you.
canteen.
It is tight, but I think I don't know. It's a survival horror game. You want to have to make these difficult decisions, don't you? And the inventory forces that. Like I say, because I know I'm repeating myself now. The only sort of thing that I would personally change about that, I think, now that I've sort of finished it and had time to think about it, is I would get rid of those blocking doors. I find them annoying,
Mm.
especially because of the
Mm.
way the mansion's shaped. It's not shaped like you would shape a normal house. So there's areas that you could get to that to get to like a place that's actually like geographically quite close, you'd have to go like all the way around the mansion. And yeah, if they just fix those doors,
Your favorite landing, of course.
yeah,
It was just basically like
no
fucking,
sense.
yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about it? Because I feel like I've just sort of stumbled around it, not really deciding. I think I found it frustrating at times, but sort of wouldn't change it.
Yeah, I am definitely on that side of that fence, and I think again for me, the way I initially experienced these games was like I did it in a way where a lot of the trial and error and the on ramp had been done for me by the person I was playing it with. So having an experienced hand at these games just sort of sat next to me and telling me if it's so, I'd go into a save room and Chris would just sit there and be like, right, you're going to need this and you're going to need that. Maybe take some bullets, take a health, take a gun. That's all we need right now. Like, we're going to go here and use that. We're going to go here and use that. If you don't have that, which of course you gain for multiple playthroughs, which is probably the reason why I love this kind of thing, is that once you understand what you think you're going to need, you can therefore like plan ahead better. When you're planning ahead into the unknown, the difficult decisions are a good thing, but when you made the wrong decision and you've ended up carrying a fucking red gem around for 4 hours that you didn't need, then it's become slightly annoying. And it's got to the point where, like I said to you, when I was doing my Chris playthrough, I didn't even take any ammo. I just had like maybe 2 guns full with ammo, and that's going to get me through. And I probably won't take any health either, because if I get hurt, I'll just run back and heal up somewhere
I think
else.
That's what I should have done. I should have not taken health with me.
Yeah, I see. I think if you played like, if you'd had a Chris go now, those decisions that you'd be forced to make with a smaller inventory and your prior knowledge of the game, you would probably have had a really good experience with it, and you'd sort of you'd feel like you totally get the game now. You're planning all these routes, and you feel way cleverer than you did the first time where you're stumbling. Because my first playthrough, what was mine, like 12 hours? Because I'd forgotten quite a lot. Yours was like 9,
something like that. Yeah,
because I was obviously jumping on Twitch and sort of trying to help you just not have to go through bullshit and not walk around with something you're not going to need for ages. Just like leave that there. You don't need it. Just go, do whatever, because that frustration is unavoidable for a new player, and probably even worse if you're completely new to the whole series at this point. Because lest we forget, this was part of Shinji Mikami's big, Nintendo are the greatest lads in the world. They only make games for fun. They're not corporate twats. I'm going to make all Resident Evil exclusive to this guaranteed hit of a console they've just brought out with a handle on it. And, this was the first one that many Nintendo players at that age, at that time, may have ever got, because that's why they ported 2 and 3 and Code Veronica before they made 4, and then and 0 before that. So they put the whole library on this console for people to experience. Obviously, as we know from the draft, that 2 and 3 got absolutely shit on, but thank fuck they did make it, because now people have built custom versions of Dolphin to make them look absolutely gorgeous and the way to play them. But yeah, I think at that time, this game can be incredibly frustrating. You can get lost. You can just waste so much time going back and forward and getting all the way to somewhere and think, I needed the piano notes here instead of the fucking
And then having to go
gem.
all the way
I've
back
wasted,
again.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then add to the fact that this game's got zombies that don't stay dead. In fact, they come back worse. The backtracking becomes a bit more of a pain than it would have done in the original, or pretty much any of the original games, because of the fact that they're making it an absolute danger any room you go in. If you've been in it before and you haven't dealt with it properly, you haven't left a stumbler, just a normal zombie stumbling about, you didn't take his head off or burn him, you're going to be fucked, and we're going to force you to go away. You're fucked because, as David just said, we've broken the door. So gutted.
There was one where I just had to turn it off and go away for a couple hours and do something else because I was playing it, and I had got myself into the situation because of the inventory management stuff. But I was just like, I can't keep taking this canteen around with me everywhere. I need the space. So I just left it, and then I went into a room. There was 4 zombies, and I ended up killing them all.
That's not the one with the weird torches and statues all the way through it.
No, don't think so. It's a sort of corridor beside where the dogs are, where you pick up the fertilizer that kills the plant.
Oh, is that the one where they all break through the windows at one point?
Yes, yeah. There was 4 of them. Killed them all. Went through, and then I went back, and they'd all gone Crimson Skull. And I just it was like a thin corridor, and I had got through there with the skin of my teeth, and then I was just so relieved that I did this a couple of times in this game. I think that's why I found it frustrating. But I was just so relieved that I'd survived that I was like, oh, I need to go in this door. Open the door, and this is the one-way door. And then I was realized I had to go all the way back around and go all the way through that corridor of death again. I was just like, nah. I just felt broken, so I just turned it off.
Yeah.
And then went away and did something, and then came back and did it later. But
so when you went back and did that later, were you going back to a point before you went in that room?
I had saved it. I had saved it 10 minutes before I went into that room. So
yeah.
Or did I'd either just saved it,
took a lighter with you the second time or whatever.
No, I think I'm now trying to think what I did. I think what I actually did, because that one-way door takes you near a save room, so I just went and saved and then turned it off because I was at least next thing, loaded it up, and then I just went in with nothing but health and a shotgun and just cleared them all out.
I think I came and watched your stream after you'd done that because you said to me, I've just cleared them all out.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was watching your stream at the point after you told me about this in text, and I thought, this is going to be an interesting watch. But you'd already done it, and you were just sort of flying through it again.
Yeah, because that corridor's safe. I did this stupid thing because I should have listened to you as well. There's the zombie at the top. There's the balcony area that sort of surrounds
dining room, second floor. Yeah.
And you were like, oh, I just didn't kill him, and then something happened, and I just killed him, and then every time I came out of that room, there's just Crimson Skull just chasing me around in circles.
Yeah. Of course, not forever, because then there's 2 hunters in there later on, so that makes it even more fun.
Yeah.
Although at least they stay dead.
Yeah, thank God. Imagine getting a Crimson Skull hunter.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, long story short to that 20-minute conversation we just had, definitely found it frustrating at times. However, I don't think I'd change it, apart from those doors.
Yeah. Thank God for Barry fixed them.
Yeah, thank God Barry with his screwdriver, whatever he had.
Although Wesker fixes them for Chris.
Oh, does he? Nice guy.
Yeah, Wesker's the one leaving all the ammo and stuff for Chris in his game rather than Barry. So it just kind of swaps the 2 partners over. Visually, the maddest thing about this video game is that it was 6 years after Resident Evil on the PlayStation.
That's ridiculous. That's
a graphical leap. Have we ever seen one like that?
No, surely not.
Because you've gone from early 3D to 3D that holds up however many years later, 22 years later.
Today. Still looks absolutely fantastic today.
I mean, obviously we're cheating somewhat by as I said, the way we've played it with an upscale on the PC version and stuff. But it's quite interesting because they went back to pre-rendered backgrounds because I guess of to some extent the technical limitations of the GameCube. They got assistance from Nintendo as well. They had Nintendo people specifically coming in to help Mikami and his team deal with that to make it look even better, because he was apparently obsessed with the fact that he wanted this game to look really super realistic. But Code Veronica, which was the prequel, not prequel, but the previously developed game before this, that had 3D backgrounds in it and a sort of a more dynamic camera that I'd forgotten about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're running, the camera sometimes will sort of follow you. It's not, you don't have movement of it, but it's more dynamic than this one. So that, and then there's sort of the way that they did lighting effects, and they had lots of particle effects. The game obviously is a lot more atmospheric than the original. If you go back and look at the original Resident Evil now on the PlayStation, it's quite light in a lot of areas. It's almost white.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Mikami clearly didn't want that to be the case here. Apparently, the art director Nakoi Katakai, Mikami had this rule that they had to focus on provoking fear rather than it being beautiful to look at, and he would apparently demand redesigns if the amount of light or darkness didn't fit this version of his vision. For the feel of whatever room it was supposed to be in. Like, he was very anal about this room needs to be lit like this, or it's too light, or it's too dark, or not enough particle effects, or whatever. So he was clearly very, very keen on making it look good, and they made the absolute right choice. Even the character models look really, really good, but the backgrounds and the detail and the design in every room of this game is outstanding.
Oh, it's absolutely stunning. Yeah, it's insane to think how close together that was.
Yeah,
because it is. I find it quite shocking actually when you go back and you look at footage of the original Resi 1. Because it just doesn't look like that in my head. When we played that last year, did we have texture packs and stuff like that, or did we play it like that? We did.
Yeah, we played. Well, you did. I played it on the DS.
What did you, like a maniac?
Yeah, that game's brilliant though. But yeah, you played the one with some sort of PC upscale thing on it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I still to this day find it quite shocking how that game looks, because it doesn't look like that in my mind. I think in my mind it looks more similar to, I don't know, like Resi 2 OG or 3.
Yeah, what one is miles off 2.
It is.
Even that. Yeah. I think we even mocked it last year for like the zombies are just basically grey blokes with no hair.
Yeah.
Whereas in 2 they look like proper rotting carcasses, but in 1 they kind of look just a bit shitty.
Yeah.
They obviously don't in this remake. The creature design in this game is really good. I mean, hunters are kind of dumb. Like, they're terrifying.
They're a bit weird,
and they wreck you. But they're just like big frog blokes.
Yeah, I also thought the guys that you meet around about the time you get the exploding power cell, which is a terrible design, by the way.
What was that, and why?
Those enemies that hang from the ceiling and like jump down, they're like massive bugs. They're a bit odd.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I died because I tried to shoot one of them with a magnum when I had an explosive fuel, because I thought I was being clever. I was like, well, I'm not going to run. That doesn't work.
Yeah, I also will pick it up every single time I see it. The fact that they're using these experiments to make some sort of like they're making these try to make some sort of like super soldier, right?
Yeah.
So they stick the heart on the outside, so you can just pop it with a magnum.
You know what? That's a good point to bring up. Yeah, that's a good point to bring up. He's still a fucking bitch. Like an utter bitch.
Yes.
In Resident Evil 1, I can't remember, it was on the wiki somewhere, so who's Yamanaka was the creature design. He handled the creature design. This Masaki Yamanaka.
Okay.
And he worked closely with Mikami to get the sharks looking better and develop the aqua ring. So you've actually got sharks that attack you properly and are a challenge. Because if you remember the original game, when you go in the shark room, there's a door directly to the right of the one you come in. So you just go straight in that, and that's it. This one, obviously, the sharks are a bitch, and that they did a great job of that. But also, they discussed like they wanted to improve the tyrant fight from the original one, because in the original game you could just run around in a circle and turn, and then just use the auto aim and shoot him with the magnum, and in like a few shots he's dead. I don't think they fixed that at all in this game.
I think it was like 6 shots and he was dead.
It's like 6 magnum shots and he's done. Yeah,
it was like over so quickly. I was like, oh, is that?
It's mad. I mean, I know he comes back, and he comes back in both versions this time, doesn't he? Whereas in the original, he only comes back on the helipad if you're Chris.
Right. Okay. Yeah, he definitely came back for me.
Now that one they definitely did a better job of. The one on the helipad, he is very, very aggressive. He can move very fast across that.
He smashed me in a couple of times. Yeah.
He's also supposed to be programmed to be really aggressive to your partner, because the idea is that he's going to try and kill your partner, so you get a shit ending, and you've got to try and protect them. Did you ever have him where he batted the rocket away, or did you just get him?
No. So I was
A
actually going
shot.
to ask you that if I had just like wasted my time with that. So basically used all my Magnum bullets on him, ran out of Magnum bullets, and then shot him once with the rocket launcher, and that was it. I was like, should I have just picked up that rocket launcher at the start and shot him? Would he have died, or did I do most of the damage with the? Was my Magnum doing something? I guess is my question.
Yes, it
Okay.
was. I believe you have to sort of stun him, or I guess wait till he turns around and then just sling it right up his arsehole. But yeah, I thought I was just going to do it really quickly as Chris, and he battered those rockets away like 2 or 3 times, and I was getting big fucking Wesker flashbacks from 5.
No. Yeah, 5.
The one where he like grabs hold of it and you've got to try and
Yeah.
shoot. Oh my Christ. So so I think I had to wait until he basically ran towards Rebecca and then shoot him from behind with it to actually get him. But yeah, I mean, at that point, you know, your magnums, everything is useless to you after those few seconds. So magnum away. It is nice to feel like you get enough magnum bullets in this game to actually use it on regular enemies towards the end. Of course, when I did, I blew up the fucking fuel and ended the game. But yeah. What else did I have that I want to talk about? I'm going to go through the differences at some point later on from between this and the original, or if they come up organically. We've talked about the mansion layout. Surely surely this game is the definitive way to play it. Would you, or would you say?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I don't get me wrong. I certainly, and just as a sort of, I don't know, what would we call ourselves, gaming savants. I'm glad we went back and we played the first one. But if I'm going to play an OG Resi again, it's going to be this one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever play the OG unless there's a reason for it for this podcast, I think. But
Agreed.
This is the way to do it, and because it's so good. Like I say, for me personally, as someone that isn't steeped in Resident Evil like you, sometimes it is a thought like that OG one took a bit of getting used to. I think this is at least an approachable one for sort of a modern audience, even to this day.
Well, yeah. Actually, speaking of that, you changed your controls from the tank back to the alternate. Halfway through.
Really, no reason for that, other than I don't know. It just felt more. I was going to say it felt more comfortable. It didn't. Because I remember when I did switch to the sort of tank controls, and I was quite happy using them, and it did feel like, oh, this feels smooth now that I've sort of learned the language of the tank controls. But yeah, I think for some reason I just changed it, and then I just never felt frustrated enough to bother to pull the menu up and change it back again, to be honest.
If you put the alternate controls on, can you then use the tank controls on the D-pad? Is that because in that speed run I did watched?
Try. Yeah, it didn't like.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it sounded like he was just swapping between the two as he was going. Like he was using the modern controls to duke out the way of the zombies in a way that I didn't even think was possible. Yeah. Some of the shit he does there.
Yeah.
But then it felt like he was talking about tank controls on the D-pad quite a lot.
Yeah, because he agreed with you. He said he felt that the tank controls were the definitive way to play the game.
Yeah, but he was clearly not playing with them for most of it, because there's no way you could dodge the zombies like that.
I mean, maybe it's different. Was he playing that? He was playing it on PC.
Played PC, yeah.
Yeah, don't know.
Guy's a bit of a goober, isn't he? But he is very good at video games, or that video game anyway. What else have we got?
It's a funny one. Yeah, I think I can't remember why I changed it, but I did, and then just I felt
curiosity. Maybe I don't know. Maybe because you kept dying, you thought I'm going to try this.
Because I was getting on with it well. Do you know what it is? I've got a funny feeling I restarted the game again after we changed it, because that was right at the start, and I think I restarted that game like 4 times, and I just never changed it.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what happened.
Almost didn't save your control scheme, and then
and then I just never
defaulted to alternate. You were like, oh yeah, this will do.
Yeah, But yeah, I mean, I would agree with you if someone, or I assume you'd agree with this. If someone was to say that the tank controls are probably the best way to play it, you're probably right, because all too often I would get myself caught in like a
Yeah.
camera switching, and it was
Hmm.
fine if so say you were pressing forward and then the camera switched. If you didn't move your stick, she kept going in the correct direction. But as soon as you tried to, like, if you tried to turn a corner or something, she'd be like, "Ugh,"
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. Yeah.
crash into a wall a few times.
Yeah. I mean, I've played the Onimusha game. Well, no, because that Onimusha game that they redid, the remastered one, that has the alternate controls in it, and I don't think I ever struggled with that.
No,
And in fact, Resident Evil Zero,
yeah,
did that have it?
I didn't play tank controls with Zero.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that just changes to the alternate, doesn't it? One thing I didn't like about the controls is that you couldn't map the buttons manually, because it feels like almost every Resident Evil game has a different button for run and a different button for shoot
Yeah,
and a different
yeah,
button for your status, and I don't know why they keep changing it.
no,
Some of them it'll have like square for run, or some of them it'll have
you're
X for
right.
run,
You're
or
right. It's really
you're
odd.
like, none of the alternates ever changed enough of them around, and I don't know why I couldn't just do that myself. I auto aim. I'm not playing this game without it.
No,
Does that feel like a bitch thing to do?
I
I
don't
don't
think so.
know, but
I
I'm
find it so
not.
useful. Like, you can go into a room and you can tell if there's a zombie in there and which general
Yeah.
direction they are. Like, sometimes you can't see it until you. I mean, deliberately by design, you can't see them until you walk right up on them. I think that's a perfectly okay way to play this game.
Well, yeah, you know they're there, but it doesn't stop being tense because they could be right in front of you.
Yeah.
You never. Yeah. Yeah. What an interesting thing actually is that in the original game, Chris didn't really have a lot of difference to Jill. Apparently, he has more health / damage resistance,
Oh, does he? Okay.
and of course, the smaller inventory.
Mhm. So that's a trade-off. You're making a bit more robust for less carry
Well,
space.
yeah, which I guess is kind of handy. I mean, he still didn't have the lockpick. He doesn't have that in either of those games. He has to have small keys, doesn't he? Instead, well, sorry, you haven't played Chris on this one, but yeah, he has to have small keys. He doesn't get the grenade launcher. He can't play the piano, although he's weirdly shitty about Rebecca's piano playing as well, which is quite funny. Because she has to. Do you remember in the original she has to practice the piano for a bit, and you just fuck up? Yeah, well, she has to do that on this one again. Which, again, I will reiterate, is a weird thing for Chris to be fine with when he goes around risking his life in the zombie-infested mansion while she's just practicing a song that they do not know has any benefit to them at that stage. It's just, can I get better at this? Sure, fuck it. I'll go fight a
Get
dog.
going. Yeah.
And yeah, and you can't make the V Jolt. I don't. For some reason, you don't get to make the V Jolt in this one as Rebecca. I swear you get to do that in the original. I could be wrong there, but I thought that when I play as Rebecca in Chris's game, you get to go around and mix the V Jolt for him. I could be wrong about both of those. She definitely goes and gets the serum for him because he gets poisoned up by the snake instead of old Richard. That's the same. But yeah, anyway, in the remake, Chris has all of the same things from the original, but this time
you playing as
apparently,
Rebecca at certain points in the first game. I obviously deleted that from my brain entirely.
Yeah, Chris gets poisoned by the snake, and then Rebecca has to go get serum for him, and you can get caught by. I swear, in the original, you can get caught by Plant 42 as Chris, and then Rebecca walks in and is like, "What the fuck? Don't die!" And then she runs away and goes and makes the V Jolt for him. In fact, I know that's the case because I heard that on our podcast from when we did it. That did not happen in this game for me. At least I didn't trigger that to happen. I just fought Plant 42, and it died.
Well, you had to fight him, didn't you? Because you put
Yeah.
yourself in that room. Yeah.
Oh no, that was when I was Jill. That was an accident when I was Jill. I accidentally went in that bookshelf room too early and realized what I'd done, and I hadn't done V Jolt yet, so I just reloaded. In Chris's one, you can't make V Jolt, so you just go in and fight it. And Rebecca doesn't do anything for you in that bit for some reason. But also in the new version, Chris shoots faster, apparently, and he has the lighter as a default item, which he does not have in the original. He has nothing default in the original game. and he has a higher chance of getting headshots as well. So there are more benefits to playing as Chris in this one that make him almost viable for a sort of a experienced player. Whereas I think in the original, even if you are, there's just no point. He's just not worth the trade-off of the item capacity and not being able to do anything for yourself. But yeah, this one, he does shoot a bit faster. It's got a higher fire rate and stuff.
Interesting.
We've talked somewhat about the Crimson Heads. They are on paper brilliant.
Yeah,
because
I like them.
There's do you completely ignore a zombie so they never turn into them? Do you kill the zombies with the headshot using your shotgun? Do you burn it? Do you kill it and then leave it and then let it become a Crimson Head? Do you never go back once there's a Crimson Head there and just avoid that route? Do you always have the flask and the lighter as you're walking around? Or do you go around doing a sweep up at some point like I sometimes do?
Yeah.
Like, right, time for a bit of a burning session. And then you go around. And then one of those wankers will have already turned by the time you get
It's
there.
the ones that are lying on the ground and when you try and light them, they just get up. It's like, fuck
yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you can see if they've got a little bit red and their claws are dangling down.
Yeah.
You're like,
there's the other one.
This is gonna get me.
There's the one where the room where you just start the game that's got all the mirrors in it, where you collect the.
That's the one I was talking about.
Face down. Yeah, you can see he's got little veiny feet as well. I don't know if that's just the game we were playing, but yeah, I didn't realize until after he woke up. But yeah,
he got me as well because I went in that room specifically to burn the other two dudes that were in there, and he just got up when I did it, and I forgot that can happen. So
I think they're great.
Terrifying.
I think they're great. They had a really cool sort of, like you say, like you just listed, like sort of trade off or tactical thought process that you've got to engage with, in addition to all the ammo scarcity and like the backtracking that you've inevitably got to do in the game. Like, it just adds another element of risk to the game. And how do you deal with them? Do you decide, like, right, I can deal with the slow zombies, I'm just going to leave them? Or do you think you've got full nuclear and think I'm just going to clean them out? Yeah, I think it's great. I really like them. And they're scary.
Yeah. They are genuinely scary. I left far too many of them when I was Jill. My Chris game, I was clinical. I was headshotting or burning every chance I got, and I was cleaning up after myself as well. Whereas with Jill, kind of like you were saying, like I'd go through and there'd be rooms with like two of them in there, and it was just becoming like a real pain. And I started to think, like, are these a good thing? Or in actuality, when I'm just trying to get on and open a door with a fucking key or something. Yeah, but yeah, they're brilliant. They are the thing that most people will remember when they talk about this game, reference to the first.
Like with the room I had where there was 4 of them, that was just, I did something wrong. Like, I didn't approach the situation properly. It's just a lesson to do better, I guess.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're well within your power to stop them being shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of stopping something being shit, the story and the way it's delivered and written is clearly better than the first game, especially as they have added in extra stuff, extra lore to explain things that they'd added into later games to make them make more sense. It's still not that good in its delivery. Some of the acting in this is quite shit. Yes. And some of the dialogue is quite shit and makes not a lot of sense why somebody as a human being would say it. But obviously it's far better. Did you enjoy it?
When it comes to the schlockiness, I've kind of come to enjoy that about the Resident Evil games that we've been playing. And I sort of just find it endearing now rather than silly. Like, it's a haunted mansion game that is also a little bit silly. And I'm kind of fully on board with that. And I guess, to me, it makes sense. Like, the stuff that's happening around you, the stuff with the virus and stuff is fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, it makes sense for it to be a bit silly. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I enjoy it, and I can't decide. Like, maybe is it deliberately bad at times? Like with the first game, was it deliberately shit, or did they just get someone that clearly wasn't a voice actor because they were cheap?
Yes, the first game. Remember, they translated in house as well. They didn't get any localization.
Yeah. Okay.
It was all done by Japanese people who knew English rather than native English speakers. That was not the case this time around. They got a native English speaker to properly translate the game. I don't know who the actors and actresses are. They were obviously, at least I believe, voice actors of some caliber rather than just white people who could speak English that they found
Barry
to
feels
show up for this.
better in this game than I remember him being.
I would say Chris and Jill are the two worst performances in the game. Barry and Wesker are fine. Barry I find actually quite enjoyable. He's less. He's what did you call him? He's more of a snake in the grass this time.
Yeah,
A potential snake in the grass. He's sort of shady rather than in the first game. He's just a bumbling twat.
Well, I think I said, I think you maybe wandered off at some point, but I think I said this to you when I was streaming it. Like, in my head, I was expecting Barry to be like, is he called Barry? But Alan Wake's agent, who's just a bit of a bumbling idiot.
I think he is called Barry, yeah.
And like in my head, they looked the same and they had the same sort of vibe going on. And then when I started playing it, I was like, oh no, Barry's a lot more serious and dark. But maybe my memories coming from the first game when I'm just like, oh, he's an idiot.
Yeah, he's super goofy in the first one.
Yeah, because there's, I mean, it's like Chekhov's gun from 3 miles away, but like the way they telegraph that someone's not right with Barry, like they play him pretty dark at times, I thought.
Yeah, I like when he's talking to Wesker and she walks in and hears him. He's like, oh, I'm talking to myself because I'm going crazy from the mansion.
Yeah. Why does he take the lift and like run away from her when you're down in the?
I love that bit.
Because she's like waiting, he's just like doesn't even come back down for her or anything.
When you see a cut as well of all the times that Barry, because Dunkey did it in his video, there's a cut of like all the times Barry basically tells Jill to fuck off. I'll just stay here and like keep watch in case something bad happens. He just constantly sending her off and staying there by himself. Very, very odd. But yeah, much more an enjoyable character this time around, less goofy. Wesker plays it the same as he did last time, very deadpan, very I'm going to talk like this, the whole monotone. But Chris is too monotone, and that's not supposed to be the way it is. And Jill is even worse. I think her voice actress is terrible.
There's a bit near at the end when the self-destruct and the lab's on, and Chris is like, you go up, and we'll go and deal with it. Me and Barry will go and do this thing. And his delivery of it just says something on the lines of, "Let me have my moment too, Jill." And then she's like,
"Yeah, I want to be the hero this time." Or something. Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
it's
so
such a shit interaction.
It really is. I've forgotten about that. Oh, that's great. I was going to say something about those two. It's gone. Fuck it.
Boob physics, the most unnecessary boob physics I've ever seen in a video game.
Yeah, that's weird. That is really weird, right? Because there was a part in the development where Sexy Jill became a bit of an issue. So this is again from the Resident Evil Wiki. Lead character designer Kenichiro Yoshimura. He had several disagreements with Mikami about Jill's body shape. So Yoshimura added a harness under her breasts to secure her shoulder pads. Okay, that's what it's for. And he intended for Jill's chest to look like she was wearing a bra underneath her uniform. That's verbatim what it says. Now, does that mean he likes the outline of a bra on a lady, or does that mean he wanted them to be bouncy or not bouncy?
Not bouncy?
But they were very bouncy. This is like Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Yeah, I've never seen boobs like that in my life. Not with a bra on, anyway.
No, they were like No, I don't think you can reference a wobble board anymore, can you? Because he's a nonce. They were like somebody. They were like when you're making your bed and you're whipping out your sheets. That's what they look like. The end of your bed sheet. They're just like, two duvet covers.
Just taking the Chris model and sellotape some water balloons that are overinflated to his chest.
That's better. Yeah, that was good. So originally, apparently, she had this all black uniform to like fit in more with the STARS aesthetic or the special ops nature of their team. But it was later changed back to the blue one because that's what she wears in the original game. But this is weird because Yoshimura explained that black uniform made her too sexy.
Right. So wait, then the black one's the one she wears.
No, she doesn't wear that. They took it out because Yoshimura said it was too sexy. They put her back in the blue one. Okay. Now, This was the same guy who tried to put a harness under her
there's
boobs.
there's two options for in the game version we played.
Yeah. Can you not have the Resident Evil 5 version as well?
Is that the one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, that's one of the reasons I restarted the game, because I hated that. I put the different skin on, and I was like, I can't take this skin. So I changed it and restarted the game.
Rightly so. Right. I don't know why they put those ones in there, because they've got the BSAA Chris Redfield one. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But they had more issues around her outfit, right? So apparently the developers insisted they wanted the default outfit from Resi 3. Now, if you remember that, she's basically just wearing a boob tube and a mini skirt.
Yeah.
And they actually had a meeting to decide the color of her underwear, because they had some upskirt shots from some of the static camera angles. So apparently they went from white to black to light blue and then back to black again. And apparently Mikami was really pissed off about all this nonsense. So he just made them take all the camera angles that showed up her skirt out. He's like, what are we doing?
Why are we having meetings about pants?
We're having meetings about we're trying to make a fucking piece of art here, you idiots. That's I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Come on, Japan or whatever. But that is brilliant. Yeah, right. So the difference is, okay, so
yeah, let's hear some.
So the layout of the mansion, you may remember, is basically the same as it is in the original game.
I felt like I knew my way around for the most part.
Yes, it's larger. There are new areas and shortcuts. The outside patio bit where you blow the dog whistle and fight the dogs, that's a new area of the game. Also the backyard bit, when you go through that sort of painting door to go out into the graveyard bit, and you go down to the crypt. Obviously the crypt is new as well. Therefore the shortcut into the crow room, which is quite a useful one, especially if you're trying to avoid a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
That's not in the original game. Obviously, as you said earlier, the broken doorknob near the east wing save room, that's not in the original game. That was our favorite change. You may remember you asked me a question about it. The music notes, sorry, they're an additional item that you have to find. You find that there's a little small room on the way to, I don't know why they call the snake boss Yawn, but they do.
Okay.
But and I feel like I'm going to yawn having said that. Yeah, there we go. That's weird, isn't it? So you have to combine those music notes with the music sheet in the piano room. You didn't need to do that in the original. Right, okay. So I think maybe that got you at one point, because you kept saying like, "Oh shit, I've only got like these."
Yeah, I knew I didn't have the full notes, but I just wasn't finding the other one. But it was in the room that I needed to be in, stupidly.
Yeah. But so they added that in. I mean, obviously, most of these puzzles are like changed. For example, the dining room, that puzzle has an extra layer to it now. So where you would put the gold emblem above the fireplace to move the clock out the way. Yeah. In this version, of course, you now have to do a puzzle on the clock where you're arranging the clock hands for which part of this dude's poor body has been stabbed.
I was sneaky as well, because there's like a shorter looking sword, because it's obviously impaling someone, and it's like. Yeah, it was a little bait and switch.
Yeah, you think, oh yeah, it's 2:10, but it's nothing to do with that. It's to do with which part of the body. So that's a lot easier than that. The painting room that we discussed, where old George Trevor was having a chat before his life ended. That has a different puzzle in it. In the original game, it's that the puzzle you have to do, you have to press buttons on the paintings in order of you've got like a baby and then a young toddler, and eventually it's like a middle-aged tired man and then an old bloke in his deathbed.
Yes.
But this time around, it is colors of accessories. Like, it's an orange bracelet. You've got to change you've got to press some switches to make the lights go the correct color. Not sure if I prefer that new version of the puzzle, to be honest, but that's a different one. Mm-hmm. In the original game, did you ever try and open the front door?
I don't remember. I certainly did in this one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So in the original game, you open the front door, it plays a cutscene of a dog. You go, but can't go out. I'm stuck in the in the remake, a dog also comes in to the mansion if you open the door,
Yeah,
and you have to kill it or leave it. That's a very cool change. I mean, there's a
that's
big
good one.
mantra of Mikami, like he wanted to trip up veterans of the original
I
game
like
and
that.
give them a really new experience, and I love that.
I don't know what your feeling is, but see, when it comes to sort of remakes and remasters, are you like a traditionalist and you want like a like for like, shot for shot remake, or do you like it when people? Because I think like it encourages people to take chances in a way that the games industry isn't so good at just now. So there's like stuff
Yeah,
like that, and like when they did the Resident Evil 2 remake, I'm much happier that we got that than if they had just sort of redone Resident Evil 2.
yeah.
I don't
That
know.
was the
What's your
right way to
opinion?
have done that,
Yeah.
because they probably even improved some of the areas that were not necessarily that good
Mhm.
in the original Resident Evil 2. Well, we'll find out as in our next episode.
Doesn't mean it's always
This
going to be a
one,
hit, because I think we've got Resi 3 remake coming up, and I think
exactly.
people sometimes
Yeah,
it's a miss, but I would rather they attempted it. I think.
I think in the case of Resident Evil 3, it's just the biggest problem is it just felt so rushed, and
Hmm.
it felt like they just cut stuff and that was it.
Hmm.
Whereas this game does not cut anything. It changes things to trip you up and then adds more. That that is how you do a remake. That
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
you've given the fans of the original everything from the original with a twist to make it fresh, and you've added more stuff on top of it, and you've
Yeah.
basically improved all the stuff that was shit. That like, even with the modern remakes of these games, I still think you're going to have to go a long way to find a better actual remake in
I just like
in
the
the
idea of
truest sense of
people.
the word than this one.
Absolutely. I like the idea of people like your mate Chris, like picking this game up, thinking, "Oh, I know exactly what to do here,"
Yeah,
and then just getting tripped up every so often. I like that. Just
I
like
think
that
that's so
idea. Yeah.
good. Like the tiger head, where in the original game you have to put a blue and a red gem in its eyes, and in the remake it's a blue and a yellow gem in its
Yeah.
eyes. And if you
And they give
put the
you a
red
red
gem in its
gem.
eyes, it basically just drops loads of snakes on your head,
Yeah.
and you get poisoned immediately, and you are fucked. And I did that once by accident because I just defaulted to, I'm going to take the red gem over there, and forgot that it's the yellow one that goes in. It's also the crests, the wind crest you get in this game. That is a great. That's such a really clever and subtle head fuck, because in the first game you need to collect 4 crests to get through the door into the outside area, into the woods,
Yeah.
and the to the crank and the snake bits. In this game, you only ever get the wind crest,
Yeah.
and
Because I was waiting for the other crests.
me too. Even now, I still thought, oh, I've only got one of those. And you leave it in your inventory for ages, or in your item box for ages, waiting to get the other 3. Not figuring out, of course, the fact that you've gotten all those 4 death masks, and that's clearly what it's been replaced with,
Yeah.
because that's what you use to get through the door in the end. And then you just take the wind crest, and the other 3 are in the game. They're just inside a gravestone that you then have to basically do a really weak puzzle of just taking them and putting them across.
Yeah.
Like, the game doesn't even ask you to put it in the right slot. It'll just do it for you. Just examine, press the button, put them in, rinse, repeat 3 times. So I really love that they kind of subtly fuck with the wind, the crests and stuff. That was really cool. A big change outside of the Crimson Heads is the defensive items, where you get, well, in Jill's case, so what you'd have seen, you get a dagger
Mhm.
and a stun gun.
A taser thing, yeah.
In Chris's game, you get the dagger as well, but but instead of the stun gun, you get well, they're called stun grenades. I don't really know why they're called that, because they are basically just grenades. So he will shove them in the
Jesus.
mouth of a zombie that grabs him, and then you can back away and shoot them, and it will guarantee a headshot and
Oh,
blow the red
cool.
off.
I like that.
Maybe that's why I had fewer Crimson Heads in Chris's playthrough, because you're getting more
Blowing their
guaranteed
heads
headshots.
off.
Because
Yeah.
I'm shooting a grenade in their mouth.
Yeah.
That was far better. I thought the stun gun was quite lame. It kind of sort of freezes them and knocks them. Does it knock them down?
Yeah, it did. I didn't really see how it just felt like another version of the dagger to me. I didn't really see that it did that much
It
different.
basically, yeah, it is. I mean, the defensive items are great, right? They stop you
Oh,
taking any
absolute
damage for a
lifesavers,
start.
yeah.
and you don't really have to do anything to, as long as you're wiggling enough, it will trigger as long as you've got it equipped.
Yeah, in areas where there's multiple dogs coming around, I relied on those pretty heavily. I was not good at dealing with dogs.
Yeah, if you haven't got a shot, well, I think I always tried to go with the pistol because I thought like I've got enough time, and they do see if they're jumping, the pistol did seem to knock them back, but sometimes they would sort of tank through it and get me anyway. Having watched that speedrun, there's clearly a tell for when they're going to do certain things that he was banging on about with their heads
he was
raised
talking
or
about
something.
that. I was like, nah, they just fucked me up, man.
Yeah, I can't even see what he's on about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about the mansion quite a lot. The Residence, I think I said to you while you were streaming, like I've got a soft spot for the Residence. It's definitely far better in this than it is in the
It's cool. Yeah.
in the original game.
Yeah, it's cool.
I always enjoy the V-Jolt puzzle. I like the whole Plant 42 scenario. I don't know why they're developing that fucking thing, but there we go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I'm when it comes to like Resident Evil games that I've got like old house / mansion / police station or whatever, I'm always a fan of that aesthetic more than when you end up in the inevitable underground lab.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it was just a sort of break from or a return to the cool aesthetic that I like for Resident Evil. So yeah, I was a fan of that era.
Yeah, it kind of it does almost like a miniature version of it with slightly more shack-like interior. Yeah. I like the little break room with the pool tables and the weird like random spiders in there. That was fun.
Yeah.
The bees are annoying. I'm not bullshitting you when I say that when I took the map off that wall, I did not look through the hole, and they never came out ever. I don't know how. I thought that would not be the case. I swear it must have been. Maybe you pressed the button too many times. Press the A button.
Yeah, in my maybe because in my game she was just like taking the map off the wall and looking through the hole. I wasn't like maybe I was, but like I wasn't aware of having a choice to look through the hole or not.
I don't. Yeah, I think after I took the map, basically I never pressed the button again. It didn't even say, "Do you want to look through?" I didn't even press it because I thought to myself, like, I know what's through there. If I don't go near that again, are they going to leave me alone? And they do.
Apparently they do. Yeah.
Yeah, you get if you're in Chris's game, that's where you get the assault shotgun, because Richard, who you could get the assault shotgun from, had you saved him, of course, in Jill's game, he will come and help you in the first fight against the snake.
Okay. Well, I didn't mean
with his assault shotgun, and you can pick that up after he gets eaten by the snake. So he dies anyway.
Oh, he dies anyway, does he? Right, okay.
Yeah, and in Chris's game, he gets eaten by a shark in that aqua ring, and you can take his shotgun then.
Amazing.
Yeah. I enjoyed electrocuting the sharks in the aqua ring. That's always fun. The shark pressure puzzle thing is stressful as fuck, which I've obviously warned you about.
Yeah, I've still no idea to this day what I did to do that puzzle.
It does feel like a little bit like just brute force everything until it works one by one, but it's something like you try and drain the water, the big shark gets annoyed.
Yeah, like I thought it failed and then it just passed.
You were very close. You were like 90% and it was going very, very angry at you. But I think you try and close the shutters, which they don't shut all the way because you've got to release some oil pressure. So then you go and press the oil thing. But then when you try and do the shutters again, it says you've got to release the safety. So you've got to go do that and then close the shutters and then drain the water. But even the first time I did that again was just like, you know, stabbing in the dark. I just didn't know what I was doing in the right order. I was panicking to shit. Yeah. And I think I got to about 90% as well. It's very, very stressful, but really cool. I love that. I love the way that they do that and just like actually give you a puzzle that full on panics you. Because in the original game, I think you go in a room, you drain the water. So that's the thing I was talking about earlier. You walk in the room, a shark comes at you, but you just go to the door to your right, drain the water, and then I think some gas comes out and you just turn a wheel and then it stops.
No,
it's really not. Yeah, there's no effort there behind it. So again, you know, a great example of them massively improving what was in the original for this version. As I said to you before, I think the outside and the underground bit especially is the weakest part of the game for me. With the giant spiders fine, but the boulders, like trying to run away from them, and it's all just looks
turning the
yellow and
multiple
brown.
cranks,
Yeah, multiple cranks. There's fucking hunters down there a lot. Flamethrower is kind of fun. You actually get to use the flamethrower as Chris rather than just sort of picking it up from that box and putting it on a hanger.
Crushed one that you get.
Yeah, you actually get I think. Does it actually say it's broken when you pick it up as Jill?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Because I thought they were trying to be clever and be like, when you play as Chris, that it's already on the wall hanging on there, and you can take it off the wall to then use in the boss fight. So I was thinking, are they trying to say as if like, Jill's already been through here, so now you can pick it up? But I don't think that's the case.
That's a shame.
I don't mind the lab. This is because at least it has some like puzzly elements to it. I like the random looking at X-rays to then get a letter.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah,
for a password, because you think you've done it when you've got the John and Ada stuff, and then you go there and it actually says, "No, you need an additional password now," and then you've got to go back and I think if I remember correctly, in Jill's game, they believe that Wesker does the self-destruct sequence for the lab and the mansion, don't they? Because he wants to cover his track.
Yeah.
In Chris's game, Rebecca goes and does that.
Right.
So it seems like that one's more of like a naive, we can't let any of these zombies get out of here. You go do the self-destruct sequence, Rebecca, and I'll meet you at the helipad. Whereas I like that's how they kind of perceive what they should do. Whereas in Jill and Barry's game, they're kind of like, oh, that dastardly Wesker's going to blow this place up, that we can't expose them. Whereas in the other one, Rebecca just goes and does it for the good of the land. I think that's basically everything I had to talk about this video game that I truly, truly love. Do you have any?
No, it's just it was great to. It's great to be back in the summer of Resident Evil. It's and a great way to start. Well, sort of first game anyway. The summer of Resi. Absolutely loved it once it got going. Strange on ramp for me for some reason. But once I got there. And yeah, glad we've got that one added to the list and on to the next one, I guess.
Well, yeah. Speaking of that list, let's rank it.
Yes.
I sent the list, our current ranking, to you in.
Did you?
Discord?
Let's have a look.
I don't think I agree with it anymore. We can maybe retcon it. I don't know. It's up to you. Or are we sticking with the original?
Is this the official list?
This was how. Yeah, that was what we ended with.
How would you change it?
Well, I've done a lot of talking. You can take this bit by the balls. Read out that ranking.
10th place we've got Resident Evil 6 by default. 9th we've got Resident Evil 5. 8th we've got Resident Evil 0. 7 Resident Evil PS1. 6 Resident Evil 3 Nemesis OG. 5 we've got Dino Crisis 4. We've got Resident Evil is at 7.
Yeah.
3 we've got Resident Evil 8. 2 we've got Resident Evil 4.
Remake.
1 we've got Remake, yes. And number 1 we've got Resident Evil 2 Remake.
So my initial thoughts looking at that is Nemesis has been done so fucking dirty in 6th place behind Village in 7. I don't know why we did that. Do we really think that? What do you think?
So where do you think Nemesis should go?
3?
Oh, that's a jump.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to remember 8. 8 is funny at the end.
Yeah.
When you just turn a tank or you fight a tank.
I definitely think 3 is better. Village is better than 7 still. I'm still on board with that.
Yeah,
I'm still on board with original 1, then 0, then 5, then 6. I still think that's right. I just think 3 is harshly low there. I think I've grown to love that more since somehow.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think. The 7 scared the life out of me more so than I think 8 did. But 8, I like that it sort of explores. I think I said this in the podcast. I like that it explores the horror gamut, so it's got loads of
Yeah,
different types of horror in the same
yeah,
game.
agreed.
But 6, you're right, Nemesis was fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
I just can't. Nemesis is a bit of a derp. But yeah, okay. I mean, I'm happy with that. Resident Evil Nemesis to move to 3. Yeah, let's do that. And
Okay,
then
and
shift
then
everything up once. Because I think I agree with you. I prefer Village to 7. I do like 7. I think Dino Crisis is in the right place.
yeah, I agree. Yeah. What do you think? Well, where does the remake go? I know where it goes for me, but
Ah, this is tough. Um, I want to put it. I feel like this is a bit of a. I always feel like I'm being controversial with Resident Evil because I don't know. I'm not comfortable with it, but I would probably put it. I would put it ahead of Nemesis in 3. I think I like 4 better and I like 2 better,
okay.
and I think I like it better than the others. But if someone had said to me they think it should go behind 7, I wouldn't fight that because I do think I think 7 and 8 are really, really good games. I think it's around
I
about there.
well, in what may shock you, I would put it personally number 2,
You put it
but
ahead of 4. I always think you are like the 4 man
I
in my
am. But
head.
that's the remake of 4.
It's not the OG 4.
Yeah, and for me, this is a better remake than the 4 remake is of 4. This is a better remake of 1 than 4. The remake of 4 is of 4. Fucking hell.
Are you sure? Okay, go
But
for it.
it's a joint one, and I can admit that Resident Evil 4 remake is probably a better game than
No,
this.
I'm trying to think of it in context. Like I think it's probably a better game. There was a couple of things that annoyed me about. I remember being and I don't remember why now because too much time has passed. I remember being angry at fighting that little midget Captain Lord Farquaad from Shrek,
Yeah,
whatever he's called. That boss fight
Salazar.
annoyed me for some reason, and I don't remember why. I just remember not being happy with it, and I was annoyed that I couldn't backtrack when the
Oh
game told
yeah,
me to backtrack.
yeah.
But I think it's an excellent game, and I
I,
think
I I
it
think
objectively is
yeah.
probably a better game. Um, but I don't know. I find it hard to like the game that started it all, and this is a better remake. This is a better version of the game that started it all. So I think it
Mm.
deserves to be high. Yeah, I mean, if you want to put it 2, I'm happy with that.
I think we were largely in agreement that it should be around that, and
Hmm.
everything below it we agree on.
Yeah,
But I think, as I say, with just for me, with the love that I have for the original 4, and the way that I think that the remake
we're not a million
maybe
miles away
oh
in where
yeah,
we were
the
feeling about
remake
it.
of the remake of 4 just maybe lost a little bit of the pure fun that I think the original 4 has, and the goofiness that I missed in the remake.
Hmm.
I think if you're looking at and this probably would change next time around as well after the next episode, but I think if you're looking for like the purest Resident Evil experience in the original style, this
That
this yeah
Yeah, I'd
yeah
agree with that. It's a funny old list as well because I genuinely have like for varying degrees I've got soft spots other than 6. I've got soft spots for every game on that list. Like I had such a good time with Dino
totally.
Crisis. I had such a good time with Nemesis. Like 0, I liked despite itself. I think it does some cool ideas. As a co-op
Mhm.
game, 5 is fun. Like I say, I like in the sort of exploration of different horror types. And 7 and 8, I think I agree with you. 8's a better game. There's a funky, flabby middle now that I'm thinking about it in 7.
And
Um,
the end of 7 is
yeah.
pretty weak.
Um, and 4, 4 remake, 2 remake are absolutely fantastic, and I had a great time with this game as well. So yeah, it's a funny one. I always feel sorry for games that I like when they're like far down the list. And I think ultimately as well, which is a bit of it's not a shame, it is what it is. Resident Evil 5 is probably going to end up off the top 10, isn't it? Zero might end up
Probably.
off the top 10 eventually
Yeah.
when time
Yeah.
comes around. I'm interested to see where Code Veronica sits when we get there eventually.
Yeah, I am very interested to see how I feel about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
I
played
have
that
a
more
big,
recently than you because I had a go at that last year, I think.
you have played it more recently than me,
And then
yeah.
I stopped for two reasons. One being that we're going to play this eventually for the podcast, but also because I am fucking terrified that I trapped myself in a corner with that game because I've heard that it can be
Certainly
done.
happened. Yeah. Yeah. So at the moment then, we've got from 11 to 1, we've got Resident Evil 6, Resi 5, Resi 0, the original Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, Resi 7, Resi Village, Resi 3 Nemesis, Resi 4 Remake, Resident Evil Remake, the new entry at number 2, and still at number 1, Resident Evil 2 Remake, which I think is still deserved.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
Send us home, my friend.
And that's it. Let's get home. Where's my notes? Yeah, so as we have said that, we've got the Resident Evil 2 OG
The
to play
OG.
next up. Better get looking at getting that downloaded and also getting those
Currently,
texture packs in place.
yeah, that's currently in my head as my favorite of all of them. So we'll see.
Oh, is it? Okay, this will be interesting. And
I mean,
have you loaded it
absolute
up yet
favorite.
at all?
I've played this in that version before.
Are the texture packs for this game as good as they were for 3? Am I going to have a?
Yes,
Because
they are
I
rocking.
love that. Like that. There's like stills of 3 when it's like near the start of the game and it's like the high looking down and it's like the back of a warehouse or something like that and there's like bins and stuff around the game.
Yes,
Just looks absolutely phenomenal.
yeah.
Yeah,
You will
so
not be disappointed. I
good.
can guarantee you.
And I guess that brings us to the end of another Winner Issue podcast. If you liked what you heard, and even if you didn't, why not give our numbers a bump by subscribing to our podcast on your podcast feed of choice? Or if you prefer to consume your podcast in a visual format, you can head on over to YouTube and search our Winner Issue podcast, where you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. If the podcast isn't enough for you, you can also follow us on our website, formerly known as Twitter. We are at Winner Issue Pod, and you can even send us an email to tell us how wrong we are about gaming and movie opinions by writing to winnerissuepod@gmail.com. Alex and I also have not Twitter, at SuperSmiley25 and at SuperThrillix. I should change that around because I mention your name first, then mine, then I do my Twitter handle first, then yours. Should switch that around. If you are one of the
Even
youngins,
guessing, mate.
yeah, you never know who you're going to get when you start searching based on those Twitter handles. Who you're going to end up with? Don't know. If you're one of the youngins, we also have TikTok. Head over there and search for Winners U Pod if you so wish. Alex, have you got any housekeeping, or are we getting out of here?
Again, this is so banked into the future.
He doesn't know
Who
what it is.
even knows? Let's get out of here and play Resident Evil 2.
And on that time bombshell, I've been David. He has been Alex, and we have been a review, and I am out.
Keep gaming. 2.
Metal Gear.
Well, that was supposed to be the Resident Evil title, man. Resident Evil.